wind screamed across the Pacific like the voice of a forgotten god. Far from the world's great empires, beyond the trade routes and wars of kings, stood a lonely island of stone and silence. Easter Island. Today, tourists see giant statues staring into the horizon. But centuries ago, this island was alive, and then it collapsed. The first settlers arrived around 1200 AD, sailing across thousands of miles of open ocean in fragile wooden canoes. They called the island Rapa Nui. To them, it was paradise. Green forests covered the hills, birds darkened the skies, and the ocean overflowed with fish. The people believed their ancestors possessed supernatural power called mana. To honor these ancestors, the islanders carved enormous stone giants known as Moai. Massive faces, empty eyes, silent guardians watching over the clans. Each statue stood taller than houses and weighed more than elephants. Carving them was difficult. Moving them was madness. Yet the people competed endlessly to build bigger and bigger monuments. Chiefs demanded larger statues to prove power and divine favor. Entire forests were cut down to create sleds, ropes, and rollers to transport the Moai across the island. At first, no one noticed the danger. One tree became 10. 10 became hundreds. Then thousand. Then thousands. The island that had once been covered in palm forests slowly turned barren. Without trees, the soil began to die. Rain washed fertile earth into the sea. Birds disappeared. Canoes could no longer be built for deep fishing. Food became scarce. Still the chiefs demanded more statues, more glory, more proof of greatness. The people obeyed while hunger spread across the land like a curse. Then came the droughts. Children cried through empty nights, while the stone faces watched without emotion. Villages raided each other for food. Spears replaced tools. Sacred ceremonies turned into desperate survival rituals. The island descended into chaos. Some legends speak of civil war so brutal that rival clans toppled the Moai themselves, smashing the symbols of the old rulers. Statues that once represented divine protection crashed face first into the dirt, one after another, like fallen gods. The people who had once mastered the ocean were now trapped on a dying island with no escape. And then came the darkest whispers. Cannibalism. Some oral traditions claim starvation became so severe that human flesh was eaten during the final years of collapse. Whether every story is true or not, the fear alone reveals how desperate life had become. By the time European explorers arrived in 1722, the civilization was broken. The Dutch sailors stared in shock at the giant statues scattered across empty plains. They could not understand how such monumental structures had been built by a starving, isolated population. The forests were gone. The great society that once moved mountains had shattered itself. Only the stone faces remained, watching waiting, silent witnesses to humanity's self-destruction. But the tragedy of Easter Island is more than an ancient mystery. It is a warning. The island was one of the most isolated places on Earth. Its people had limited resources, fragile ecosystems, and no outside rescue in many ways. Rapa Nui was a smaller version of our planet. Civilization consumed its forests faster than nature could replace them. Leaders competed for status instead of survival. Resources vanished. Conflict followed, and by the time people realized the danger, it was already too late. Today, scientists still debate exactly how the collapse happened. Some argue disease and European contact worsened the disaster. Others believe rats brought by settlers destroyed palm seeds, preventing forests from regrowing. But nearly everyone agrees on one thing. The island changed forever because humans pushed it beyond its limits. And that is why the giant statues feel so haunting even now. They are not merely monuments. They are echoes. Echoes of ambition, of pride, of warning. As the sun sets over the Pacific, the Moai still stare across the empty landscape with hollow eyes, as if searching for the civilization that vanished beneath their gaze. People once believed those statues would make them eternal. Instead, they became gravestones for an entire world.